Hello and welcome to the United Stand. It's the big one tonight. We spoke about it last night. This is the big one. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, your fan debate on Skype Goldbridge. You will be calling in and telling us what you think about Zlatan Ibrahimovic and whether he is going to hinder or help Manchester United on his way back to Manchester United fitness, which is rumoured to be this week. I've got three reasons why I think actually Zlatan's going to make us win the title, but we'll touch on that in a minute because there's some breaking news, as sometimes there always is. There are some big injury news, big injury updates that have come in within the last hour, specifically in relation to Romelu Lukaku, who didn't train for Belgium today on day one of international duty. He did not train today because of an ankle injury. How severe is that ankle injury? Well, just so I can prove to you that what can't speak can't lie, let's get it up for you. Okay, so this is the OneFootball app, which you can download free in the video description. Really good app that you can follow United and get the latest news, stats and all that jazz on there. Manchester United hit with another injury fear as international break starts. And that is in relation to Romelu Lukaku, who didn't train for Manchester United today. What else have we got? We've also got... no, I don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. Phil Jones, a doubt for England's qualifier. Well, I'm not really fussed about that. Phil Jones did play for us at the weekend. Juan Mata reveals what's behind Romelu Lukaku's goal spree for Manchester United. That's just basically saying that he's at a bigger club. Lukaku denying and party in the Beverly Hills. Garth Crooks says Marcus Rashford tore Crystal Palace defence apart like a great white shark. He's a little bit of a simpleton, Garth Crooks, to be honest. Garth Brooks would know more, but Rashford was decent at the weekend. But I mean, I've spoke about this before. People just don't watch United and they pluck names out. I like Rashford, by the way, but I don't think Rashford was any better than anybody else at the weekend. And he had two bad league games before that. They should leave talking about United to United fans, I think. And what else have we got going on? Is Lukaku gone on about his bloody partying? But Stuart Pearce says if Lukaku stays fit, we'll win the league. I'm sure we will. You can download the OneFootball app, link in the video description. That's where I just got that news popping up that Lukaku is a bit of an injury worry for United. To be honest, you know what? He's not an injury worry because he's not trained for Belgium today with a sore ankle. He nearly missed the game on Saturday against Palace. Fellaini didn't train with Belgium today. He was also carrying a knock from last week. They're not training because they're just being rested. I personally would like them to be sent back to the club and get 2 weeks rest, but I bet Belgium won't allow that to happen. So that's what I would like to see with that. But all I'm going to say is don't worry about Romelu Lukaku. It's not anything to worry about. Anyway, Skype Goldbridge is on now, Daryl Johnson. I just haven't opened it up for you, and I'm not specifically ready to take the calls yet, because what we're going to talk... Well, you can talk about anything you want to talk about, but I really want to get into the Romelu Lukaku debate. Remember, we were on about it last night, and we were saying, oh, does Lukaku improve us or not? And some people... Sorry, not Lukaku, Zlatan. Well, does he improve us? Some people were saying yes, some people would say no. What I want to say about it is this. My opinion is that Zlatan Ibrahimovic, there's a very big chat. Why can't I say Ibrahimovic? Zlatan Ibrahimovic... There's a big reason why I think he will help us win the league. There are three reasons he might not, but there are three reasons why I think he will. One, he can't stand Pep Guardiola, and they are very likely to be our biggest threat for the title this year. He can't stand him. Two, last season he would have scored 30 goals. He effectively did because he got injured, didn't he? He'll score a lot of goals, and when you bring that sort of player into United, then his experience as well is going to help us, not hinder us. And three, I think we need a backup for Lukaku. We may need a backup very soon by the looks of it. I don't think we will do, but we will at some point. And what Zlatan will bring is total class, total experience, goal scorer in the Premier League, hates Pep and has a point to prove. They are reasons where I don't think Zlatan's going to hinder United. I understand where people are saying, well, he might slow us down, and that's the sort of calls hopefully we'll get tonight, because I know it's a bit of a big debate point. Some people want him back, some people don't. Some people want him back, but they want him on the bench, which is what you're there to discuss for us tonight. But yeah, I see him as a positive, I really do. And I think that there are so many reasons why bringing somebody like that in at a time, hopefully in the next 3 to 4 weeks, he will make us better. I'm convinced about it. I'm absolutely convinced about it. Anyway, get your calls in. It's Skype Goldbridge. Skype, Goldbridge, all one word. Obviously, it's on Skype. Give us your calls. Let us know your thoughts. Simon the Bomb says, I hope Zlatan will be back on December the 12th for the game against Bournemouth and the rematch with Tyrone Mings. I think he'll be back way before that. Apparently, it's Xander's birthday, so happy birthday to him. And Ibra off the bench says Man United lists. And just come back from a massive timeout from Marcus. All right. Get down. Okay. Stop talking amongst yourself and give me stuff to talk about. Ibra knows how to handle pressure, title races from his time in Serie A, says Fionn Curtin. And how often did Mourinho play with 2 strikers? Well, yeah. I'm waiting for calls to come through. We're not getting any at the moment. In relation to Zlatan, there are 3 options really. One, he's going to play at number 10 where Mkhitaryan plays. That will create some debate, I'm sure. 2, we'll go to a 3-5-2 and we'll play him as a front 2 with Lukaku. That will create some debate, I'm sure, because I think Martial plays that position better. Or 3, he will be on the bench as a bench option. They're the 3 main options as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, let's start taking some of your calls. Let's try this one. Hello, can you hear me? No, he's hung up. Let's try this one. Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, how's it going, Mark?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Not too bad, no at all.
Good. What was it you wanted to talk about, pal? What's your opinion on Zlatan?
I honestly can't wait for him to come back. Just for example, last season he was very good with game management, to be exact. If we're, say, example, we're 1-0 up and we need someone to come drop back into midfield from up high in the pitch, he was very good at that. He was good at holding up the ball. So if we're, say, 1-0 up again where we were against Southampton, he's definitely a player we could use coming off the bench.
Yeah, so for you he's a bench option then. Would you want to start him in a front 2 or as a number 10 behind Lukaku instead of Mkhitaryan?
I'd rather, to be honest, I wouldn't have him as a number 10. I just don't think he's a number 10. I think he's a better option. Just put him straight up forward if we're badly stuck for a goal or just to hold up the ball maybe.
Yeah,
but definitely that.
He's wearing the number 10. He's wearing the number 10. He might well be our number 10, but we'll have to wait and see. But
like you're saying there with Mkhitaryan hiding behind stats, it's very possible that he will go straight in there at the moment because Mkhitaryan has to pick up his game, in my opinion.
Yeah, Shiva says Ibra the Warrior is back, and that's a big thing for me as well, Daniel. I don't know. I think it's going to kick off between Mourinho and Pep soon, but Zlatan won't hold back. He can't stand Pep, and I think United have got to get under City. We've got to get under City's skin.
Yeah, it's got to bring some flair to the matches. When we face City, of course, he'll be back, and I'm telling you, it's going to be great to watch.
Yeah, I can't wait for it. Thanks for opening the show, Daniel. I know you've been on before. Really good call again, and please do call again.
Cheers, thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Daniel. Get Skyping in. Skype Goldbridge. I don't care whether you're pro Zlatan or not. There was a lot of people last night weren't happy about Zlatan coming to the team because he's slow and he'll slow us down and teams will push up on us, and Mourinho loves Zlatan more than he loves Fellaini, and he'll play him every week and he'll let him take the penalties and he'll let him run the bath, he'll let him do everything. Where are the people who were on about that last night? Get calling in and give us your thoughts. It doesn't have to be about Zlatan, but I do want to get into the Zlatan debate. This is your opportunity to do it. We were going to do it later in the week, but I said no. Let's get the viewers on and let's take their thoughts about Zlatan and whether he should be starting for you. Well, how he fits in with United. Connor, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, hi Mark.
Hi Connor, are you alright?
Hi, sorry. Yeah, I'm good.
What's your opinion on Zlatan then, Connor?
I'm okay with him coming back. I definitely would prefer Lukaku just because of the pace, because he's faster. I think Zlatan is going to slow the game down, but that's going to give us a different dynamic going forward than we've had for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I just think I'd be surprised if any United fan didn't want him involved at all. I think the concern is about how much he will be involved, because we saw last season, I mean, him taking free kicks was just naive from Mourinho at best. But I don't actually think Mourinho would put him on the bench. I think he will find a place to start him. So that's the question. Where would you start Zlatan in a United side that's going to help us and not hinder us?
I think you start him up top for the first half, first 60 minutes, let him beat the hell out of the other defenders, and then bring someone on who's pacey who can just outrun the tired defenders. I think that'd be our best option.
So would you play him as a front two with
Granted, last
Lukaku? Would
a what?
What would you do with Lukaku if Zlatan's up front? Would you play a front two or Lukaku on the wing or on the bench?
Oh, um, I'd probably play front two.
Yeah, yeah.
I think every United fan has wanted to see the 3-5-2. I think Zlatan coming back is a great time to implement it.
Yeah, I think that is a good adoption as any. We'll see what happens with it. But hold on a minute, Connor. Thanks for calling in, Connor. Where are you calling from? America?
Yeah,
But I'm struggling myself tonight. Whereabouts, pal?
Wisconsin, about
Wisconsin.
30 minutes north of Green Bay.
Great. Well, thanks for calling in, pal, and please do call in again.
Yep, I will. See you, Mark.
Cheers, pal. Thank you. Oh, Sophie, I was just about to take your call. Call in again. We'll get you on because I know I promised you last week and it didn't work out. But Lukaku and Zlatan in the same team, that terrifies me as a fan. What will it do to the opposition, says MD Khalid. So he thinks it's a good thing. I don't know whether Zlatan and Fellaini... Sorry, not Fellaini. I don't know if Zlatan and Lukaku in the same team is such a good thing. I've got to be honest. I don't know because I think I prefer Lukaku and Martial, to be honest, because they complement each other really well. I just wonder whether Zlatan's going to start operating in areas that is going to get in other people's way. I don't know. We'll have to see, I suppose. Anyway, it doesn't look like Sophie's calling back, so let's take another call. I'm not going to wait around. Oh no, she has called. Let's have a look. Hello.
Hello, Mark.
How you doing? All right.
Hello, Mark. You alright?
Yeah, I am. Tell me what you think about Zlatan then.
For me, he's not a number 10. I mean, I don't think he's got 3-5-2. I think he would be effective up there with Lukaku. But I agree with the previous caller where he could come on as a sub and be effective, whether it be seeing a game out, holding the ball up, or if we need a goal, obviously that physical presence up there with Lukaku, I think, could be really effective.
And I mean, I think the concern that comes from some fans is that they saw last year what Mourinho did with him. I mean, are you expecting with Zlatan that he is going to go straight back into the team and be playing every week, or do you think there's any chance that Mourinho will just use him as a bench option, as some people are hoping?
Well, Mourinho said, didn't he, go with the player who was in form.
Yeah.
And I genuinely think he will do that. I think he's obviously had a chat with Zlatan beforehand and said, look, you're not going to be straight back in. Lukaku's playing well at the minute. He's going to have to earn his spot, which is the way it should be for a striker. He should be making his way back in by his performances. I mean, look what he's doing with Rashford and Martial at the moment. Playing up against each other, which you're getting the best out of Martial now. I mean, he's buzzing. And I think we should do that with Zlatan in terms of Lukaku.
Oh yeah, I think you're right, and I hope that happens because it didn't happen last year. We saw Mourinho treat some players, bench them. If they played bad for 10 minutes, they were benched or they went missing. But Zlatan played every week, and Zlatan was his favourite. And I hope that he's evolved, Mourinho, and I certainly think it will benefit United if he has evolved. We don't want any favourites. I mean, he's been. He's certainly treated the Fellaini thing really well, and he's rewarded him over a better player. Herrera's better than Fellaini, but Fellaini's playing at the moment, and I hope he is consistent like that with Zlatan, because if Zlatan walks in the team and plays every minute again, and we start to falter or teams start to try and find us easy to play, then that will frustrate the fans, I think.
Yeah, I agree, and also I think you've got to look at the fact he signed Lukaku for a lot of money, and at the minute he's obviously paying us back for that, isn't he? And if all of a sudden, like you say, he's got favourites and he puts Zlatan back in, how are people going to react to that? I mean, he's got to earn it for me, Zlatan.
Yeah, well, United fans aren't stupid in the main, and I don't think they would be very happy. We're Manchester United, we're not Zlatan United, we're not Mourinho United. And Manchester, let's talk about Anthony Martial for a minute. I mean, where do you stand on that? Because Manchester United fans are desperate for him to start playing. I certainly am. I think he's the best player in the league at the moment. I saw some stats today minutes compared to Hazard, and it's like 700.
Yeah.
If you compare 700 minutes to Hazard and Martial, he has better stats than him. Now Mourinho comes from Chelsea. Hazard was his star man. He's got a player like Martial, and I love Marcus Rashford. I really love Marcus Rashford, but he's not as good as Anthony Martial. And for me, I think Anthony Martial's got to start playing games.
Yeah, I mean, there were a few occasions with Martial where he did start and he didn't really grab his chance, but I think you can't argue recently he's been outstanding. I mean, he looks full of confidence. I mean, if you look at the nutmegs on Townsend the other day, straight off the bench, he's absolutely buzzing at the moment. And I was gutted he didn't start, to be honest, on Saturday, because Rashford, I love Rashford, but he hasn't been playing that well. He played a bit better, don't get me wrong, on Saturday, but for me, he hasn't been in form. And Martial, he's been doing... What more can he do, realistically? He's been assisting, he's been scoring, and it looks like he's buzzing at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think there's an issue there. I think hopefully Mourinho's just sort of easing him in, but I think it's at the point now where he's been so consistent off the bench, which is so hard to do. To come off the bench and do what he does every game, it's not easy. And
No.
because you come in on cold and all that. And I think he's earned it now. And I thought he was fantastic in Moscow. He's done it against Burton. He's done it off the bench. I think he now has to play. And I think Mourinho likes Rashford because he's a little bit more hard-working. But at the end of the day, we're Manchester United, Jose. We're not a team that's built... We are built on hard work, but most of the players we've got are hard work. We're also very talented. And I think Martial deserves to play now. He's so efficient with the ball. In relation to United... a bit of a nightmare fixture list coming up in October. We've got Spurs, Chelsea, Huddersfield. No, they're not a nightmare, they're crap. And Liverpool. So the next 4 games, and then there's another international break. Got Liverpool, Spurs at home, Chelsea away, Huddersfield away. City have got a good run of games. And granted, I'll be honest, some people pointed this out today. They said, look, we can't complain because we've had a good September and City had to play Liverpool and Chelsea. So... How do you think? What are you thinking? I mean, there's a few United fans starting to get, we're not going to win all 4 of them. We're doing well, but we won't win 4 all of them. I'll be amazed if we're level with City come November. I mean, what is your thoughts around that at the moment?
I think for me, Liverpool away obviously is always a tough game because they always raise the game when United are in town. But they can't defend, and I just can't see them keeping us out, to be honest, especially if Lukaku is fit, fingers crossed. I can't see them keeping us out. And for me, the biggest challenge will be Spurs away, because Spurs away this season are fantastic. I mean, they're playing, for me, some of the best football in the league at the moment. It's just obviously home form at Wembley isn't helping them. So I think Spurs will be the game that matters the most to me. Yeah,
and I think, I'm sure somebody will say we're playing Spurs at home, but I think that's what you meant, isn't it? When Spurs are away, when Spurs are away, they are a much better side. They play with such freedom that Wembley, like you say, seems to hinder them. I think it's going to be a very interesting month. I can't wait for it. I don't normally like international breaks, but actually sort of enjoying it a bit so that we can dwell on what we've achieved so far and get a bit of a rest, because it's a massive month and the Champions League's in there as well, which hopefully we're pretty sorted on. But it's tough. I mean, even if we beat Liverpool, which I think we can, then we've got Spurs at home, which won't be judged on the Liverpool result. It will just give us a bit of confidence. Then we've got Chelsea away on bonfire night of all nights. So it's going to be really interesting, but it's very exciting. I just hope we can cling on for as long as possible, and I do think Zlatan will be an asset. Just a very quick one as well, just before you go. Who's been your player of the season so far for United?
Nemanja Matic. I think he's been superb. Matic has been outstanding in literally every game I've seen.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Can't really fault him.
I always said he was going to be a good signing. Anyway, thanks for phoning in, Sophie. Very good call as usual.
Problem.
And please do
Thanks
call in
for having
again.
me on.
No worries.
Thanks, Mark.
Cheers, bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, all these people who were slating Matic, they're noticeable by their absence now. Get back in your hole. Obviously, I was concerned about Matic. I was. Most Man United fans were. Don't feel bad about it. I've spoken to loads of Chelsea fans. I saw Matic play last year. He was nothing like this. And the great thing is, look how crap Kante is without Matic as well. It was a myth. It was an absolute myth. Kante's this great player of the year. Take Matic away, not the same, are they? So he has been good. He wouldn't be my player of the year, but he has been good. Hello, Bobby. Can you hear me?
Yo, what's going on, Mark? Yo, you're right.
Yeah, good, thanks. Yeah, you?
I didn't expect to receive a call. That's awesome. Wow. How's it going?
I'm good. What was it you want to talk about? We've done a bit of Zlatan, so if you want to give us something else or you want to talk about that, it's fine.
Yeah, I just think if you want to win titles, Zlatan Ibrahimovic is the main man, one of the main men, because we're going to have a team out there every season. And if we don't bring something that's, unpredictable, so if we keep the same formation, keep the same attack, we're going to be predictable a little bit, and teams are going to know who we're going to bring on, what we're going to do. So Zlatan is going to bring something different along with Lukaku, because we haven't seen that before, and neither has anyone else. So that's the key point. You've got to be consistent with the team, but bring something different that the opposition hasn't seen. Only the manager has seen on the training field. So
I think it's a great point. I think it's a great point because we're all living in this moment of United at the moment, which is fantastic, where we're fast, we're enjoyable to watch, we're scoring lots of goals. But if we're going to say City will hit a problem in December when and maybe they will, maybe they won't, I think they will. But United can, on the same hand as you just said there, could hit the same problem. Teams will figure out what we're doing. And I think, we will have to graft some games. And maybe we will have to play Zlatan and Lukaku in some games where we're struggling to break a team down. And I just think my only concern with Lukaku is Mourinho's got to be fair. And I don't think last year he was fair. I think it's not Lukaku. I keep calling him Lukaku. My only concern with Zlatan is he's got to be fair. And last year he wasn't. He never subbed him. He played him every single game. And that would totally be hypocritical when we've seen with Rashford and Martial, they've had to share the limelight even though they've played well. I think Zlatan's going to have to, share the limelight. And I just wonder whether Mourinho would do that.
Yeah. Zlatan is very humble. He's a family man, and he's not going to be like, yo, I'm the biggest guy in the team. I'm bigger than you, Mr. Mourinho. Let me play now. Now Mourinho's in charge. He's the manager, and he's got a big responsibility, and he's full of discipline. So Zlatan will just have to listen. He's took a wage cut, hasn't he? I think, and
I think so, yeah.
He's willing to do so much more. If he wants to win titles, every single player has to listen to the manager. Fellaini is an example of why you listen to the manager. You get what you deserve. You get to start. You become man of the match. You score 2 goals. If you listen to the manager, you will be, you will be successful. So that's another point, I think. So.
Yeah, I agree, and I just think as long as Mourinho keeps that consistency of if you work hard, I'm going to be fair, then I think we're on to a winner with Zlatan, because who would refuse a world-class striker with a point to prove who hates Pep Guardiola? It's the perfect cocktail for United, and I can't wait for him to come back. Hopefully
it really is. I agree.
Just like I asked Sophie then, Bobby, who's been your player of the year, player of the season so far for Manchester United?
Lukaku, because everyone doubted him, everyone called him a player who has no touch or whatever, some rubbish nonsense, really childish. But look what he's done. He's scored in pretty much every game, and he's been the best striker. And he's it's just unbelievable what people said about him. And look what he's done. He's going to win us the league along with Zlatan. And also I want to say that in the summer we have to buy Antoine Griezmann, and we have to buy a left back such as Alexandra. We're going to win big stuff. We're going to win the Champions League hopefully in the next 3 years if we do those 2 things. Plus keep consistency, keep players not injured. And the manager just has to keep his head up, and we're going to win stuff. I believe in my team. I love my team. And I love what you're doing, by the way, Mark. Thanks for everything.
No worries, Bobby. Is it your first time on the show?
Yeah, I just liked the video because I'm on it. I just liked it now.
Brilliant.
But it was good coming on here, definitely. Yeah.
No, really good call. And please do call in again.
Cheers. Thanks, Mark.
Cheers,
see you later, mate.
I think Bobby's right as well, because I don't want to go too much, because I want you to all go and watch it if you've not watched it. Red Rumours is back on the United Stand. It's an old show that everyone thinks is a new show. And old timers, I want to see if anybody actually in the live comments remembers Red Rumours. George Kyle says, superb call, Bobby, loved it. Well, if you love, I think we've had some cracking callers tonight. Remember, hit the like button. These are viewers just like you who call in and have their views, and they're better than mine, you know. And I'm on here every night, so you know. Seriously though, they're not better than me, but well, they're not. But seriously, do drop a like on the video, because this is my favourite show, the Skype show now, and we've had some really good calls. But support them; they are you. This is the community that we've got. But yeah, does anyone remember Red Rumours? Red Rumours. I can't remember the last time we did it. It was probably over a year ago. But it's anyway. The video's there. I think it's called Kane and Griezmann to United in 2018. Watch it. The intro's brilliant. The set is brilliant if you've never seen that set before, and I do talk about Griezmann and why he's coming to United and what it will mean. But Bobby is spot on. I think if we could get Alexandro from Juventus, bloody hell, he is brilliant at left back, and he's tall, and he's athletic, and he's left footed, and he's good down that side. I think Mourinho would be all over him like a fat kid on cake. He would love to sign him. So I personally feel that if we get Griezmann and drop him where Mkhitaryan is, we won't just be Premier League title contenders, we'll be Champions League title contenders. I think he is the missing piece at the moment. Mad Marcus, you had to do it, didn't you? He's made a contribution, thank you. You can make a contribution and get a definite readout through the super chat option, which is the $sign. But Marcus has done it to make a silly point. He says Fellaini's the player of the season so far. Personalised Gift House says it's a great show so far. Yeah, it's a more relevant comment. Thanks for that, pal. And yes, I think, and I'm going to ask everybody who gets on the show. Jose Mourinho's just said, I love Mad Marcus. What a surprise. Thanks for the contribution, Jose. But I think, and we will ask people more of this, and towards the end of the video, I'll ask you in the live comments as well. Who is your player of the year so far? And the brilliance of this is we've only played, what, 7, 8, 9... Well, I don't know how many games we've played when you take into account the cup games. But normally, over the last 4 years, you would have a distinctive player of the year so far. Actually, there's comfortably 4 people that you could argue about, including the 2 we've had already, Matic and Lukaku, and there's a couple of others. And then there's probably 3 or 4 that thinking man's person could say, actually, they could be doing it. They could be the player of this season so far. So there is lots. Remember to click that share button below, and let's get as many people as watching as possible. But it's time to take another call, because Pancatch is telling me how much he loves me, and I'm getting worried. But we are going to take another call. Let me just... All right, I'm going to do this because he's been quite creative. I'm not going to tell everyone else what he's done, because they'll do it as well. But hello, can you hear me? I've got him on and I can't hear him. Hello? I've got radio silence. Oh, that was a shame. Let's take another one. There's always room for one more. Let me try. Oh, I've actually clicked this person by mistake, so you're only getting 2 minutes. But Xander, how are you? All right?
I'm not bad, mate. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. What was it you wanted to say?
I was going to say a few things, but I've only got a short amount of time.
Well, don't talk about Zlatan and talk about something different then, because I think...
Okay, no Zlatan. By the way, I'm pro Zlatan.
That would have been boring then.
No, on player of the season, I think someone who deserves a massive shout out is Phil Jones. Yeah. I'm not sure he'll be my number 1 standout player of the season, but we're 7 games in now. He's managed to stay fit pretty much the whole time, I think. He's been fantastic, really has. Other than that game, he's put in a fantastic shift. Some people like Lukaku. You know, he's got his goals, but he goes missing sometimes. Matic would be another shout for me, but I think Phil Jones deserves a massive shout out.
Yeah, the Stoke game, it did cost us the game, but hopefully it won't matter too much, and we're still top of the league. But yeah, he has been good. I've said it before about Phil Jones. I think he's the closest thing to John Terry, and I don't like John Terry, but as a footballer, you can't argue with that. I mean, fantastic captain. I mean, I live in the Midlands and I'm surrounded by Villa fans, and they can't stand John Terry, which is where John Terry plays now. But they haven't conceded a goal in ages, and as a footballer, very, very good. And I think Phil Jones is the closest thing to that. He's just got to stay fit. I'm not convinced he can do it because he's never done it. But if he does, great. What else you want to talk about?
I was going to talk about Zlatan. I give a slightly different point I don't think anyone's talked about so far.
Go on then.
Basically, it was I think we can play Zlatan and Lukaku in the same team because people say they offer the same thing, but I really don't think they do. Lukaku, even though he looks like a target man, he really isn't. He isn't that great at holding the ball up. He doesn't come short often. He likes making the run in behind. So Zlatan coming in deep and then Lukaku making the run in behind, I think would work quite well. Although, obviously, I would prefer, like you say, Martial and Zlatan up front, Martial and Lukaku up front. But I do think Zlatan and Lukaku is a doable dynamic duo.
Yeah, I think Zlatan coming deep sounds really good, but he is. Me and Ross spoke about this a couple of weeks ago, and I think I surprised Ross and a few other people when I said I think Zlatan's going to play where Mkhitaryan is as a number 10. And a lot of people reacted to it and said, no, that can't happen. We don't want that to happen. But he's wearing number 10. That's a big sign. He's wearing number 10. Lukaku's number 9. And I think you're right, Xander. He can and does drop deep a lot. And Lukaku plays on the last man. So it can be done. It's just whether Zlatan's a good enough number 10 or a quick enough number 10. Because as bad as Mkhitaryan's been at times this year, and I say bad in a loose term, he's not been horrific. Mkhitaryan's problem at the moment is he gets the ball. He was really quick with the ball. He's very skillful with the ball. He just doesn't put his head up. He just gets his head down and just not look up. And that's the infuriating thing with Mkhitaryan. But I've got a funny feeling Zlatan's going to play exactly in the formation we've been playing. And he's going to play as a number 10. Because Mourinho, if Mourinho loves one thing, if he can get another player in who's over 6'3", he'll do it. In fact, Mourinho will be lying in bed in his hotel bed in the Lowry tonight, playing around. No, I've gone too far. I was going to say playing around with his Subbuteo players, getting really excited about the fact that Mkhitaryan's about 5'5", and he can get rid of him, put Zlatan in, and he's got someone who's 6'5", and then we have got the potential to bully everybody. But I'd like a traditional number 10. But I think this is the problem. Mkhitaryan's not grasped that opportunity well enough that I think Zlatan's going to grab it.
I think that Mkhitaryan and Zlatan will alternate for certain games where we need that height. I think if we're playing like a West Brom away, Zlatan in the box for a crossing from Ashley Young would be fantastic, wouldn't it? It just adds another kind of string to your bow. And Mkhitaryan wouldn't necessarily be suited to that game. I think they'll rotate. Zlatan is coming to the latter stage of his career now, possibly his last year. So I'm not sure he'll be able to play week in, week out. But I think he can do it, and I think obviously Mourinho loves him, and so I think he probably will do it as well.
Thanks for calling, Xander. Really, I wasn't an accident. I thought I'd get her on for just a couple of minutes. Doing great things on That's Football with me, and we've got international watch-alongs on That's Football actually.
And
Thursdays. Go on.
Yeah, go on. I was going to say, are we going to talk about like what other shows we got coming up as well?
Well, I don't know, because we haven't spoke about it. Are you going to do Skype, are you?
Yeah, I think that would be really nice to do. Get some people calling in on That's Football. Yeah, I think I'll be doing that. Yeah.
Well, we're live every night this week on United Stand at 8 o'clock. So Xander's going to do a That's Football Skype in, which is going to be more generic. Not just about United, anything. You can call in and say Klopp's crap and all that. So it's going to be really good. So that's going to happen one night this week. Xander just needs to sort out, and it'll probably be straight after a United Stand stream, so you can jump over there. So that's going to happen. Thursday night we're doing England Slovenia watch along. Sunday afternoon we're doing England Lithuania watch along, and then next Monday night we're doing Wales Ireland watch along on there. So it's not going to impact on what the United Stand's doing, but we are doing stuff on there. But thanks for calling in, Xander.
Always a pleasure, Mark. I'll speak to you soon.
Cheers, pal.
Ciao.
And for all those people who are tuning in about the Lukaku injury, don't panic, Mr. Mandarin. That's way old, no one will get that. Don't panic, because he's just not trained with Belgium today, because he's got an ankle knock. But remember on Saturday, about 2 hours before kickoff, I got into a load of stick because I said there's a rumour that Lukaku's out injured. He is injured. He is injured, and he nearly wasn't going to play. And that's why he's not trained with Belgium today. It's not a new injury. He took a knock in training on Friday. Fellaini's got a knock and he didn't train for Belgium today either. Phil Jones has got a knock and he hasn't played for England. He's not trained with England either. They all played for us on Saturday, so they've all got the same injuries. I hope they all come back and have 2 weeks off because they'll be fresh for Liverpool. But the risk... Lukaku's not a worry at the moment. Lukaku's a worry if Belgium play him while he's got a knock and it gets worse. At the moment... there's no problem. Mourinho played him on Saturday, fully well knowing that he had a knock, and he's just not trained today. So there is no drama around Lukaku. He's not done something new in training. He didn't train. That's it. So there's nothing to worry about that. Let's have a look what people are saying. That good point here about Samuel R. I just want to talk about this before I take another comment, and I will do your super chats, so don't worry. In fact, there's one here, so let me just do it. Abanaf Shuri says, Mark, I think Mata will be dropped when Zlatan comes back. Zlatan will play as a centre-attacking midfielder and Mickey will shift to the right again. Oh, I hate Mkhitaryan on the wing. I don't know what anybody else thinks, but I hate Mkhitaryan on the wing. He's just so lightweight, and I don't think Mkhitaryan's grabbing the opportunities that Mourinho's given him at the moment. He's playing sort of 6 or 7 out of 10 games, and he really is capable of 8 or 9. He's got to do better, Mkhitaryan, and I don't think Mata deserves to be dropped. But just on that comment there about Mkhitaryan and Mata and Herrera, I don't know where this myth's come from. I've sort of seen a few of you lot mention it over the last few days about Mata and Herrera will go next summer. I tell you what it is. I don't know where it started from, but whoever started is just done it for like shock effect, and this is what annoys me really, because obviously on this channel we talk about a lot of rumours, but we'll always tell you where we think where they've come from, whether we think there's anything in it. And Mata and Herrera leaving Manchester United is just a load of nonsense. It's not going to happen. Herrera might go. I don't think either of them's going to go. I don't think that at all. Mata is playing for United regularly. Herrera, I think they want him to sign a new contract. I don't think he's going to go. And that's all I want to say on that. I don't see it happening at all. Let's take another call. I'm trying to click people here. It's hopefully it'll work. Alex, I did try to click you, but it broke off, mate. Oh no, he's back. Let's try. Hi, Alex. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Are you doing all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
What's the weather like in Manchester?
It's good.
Was it raining? Hello?
Right.
Yeah. Go on then. What do you want to talk about?
I know you were talking about before, like the Player of the Year fact. So I wanted to tell you like my opinions on it.
Yeah, good. Go on.
So I think my Player of the Year so far is probably David De Gea, because he's conceded 2 goals, and both of them I think were probably the defence's fault.
Yeah, especially that one against Stoke. I mean, he went an absolute world-class save, and then Jones fell on his bottom, and they scored. It wasn't his fault. I'll tell you what, Alex, that's a cracking point again. I mean, I was saying that there's probably 4 players that you'd go for. There's still a couple people haven't mentioned yet, but obviously like Lukaku and Matic. And then you've got, like I said, the thinking person's sort of picks. Sander went with Jones, you've gone with De Gea. But it's so good that we've got so many players that you can pick, and that just shows how well we're doing.
Yeah, the good thing, we've got loads of performing players. Who I think is underperforming this year is probably Mkhitaryan.
Yeah, and why do you think that is? I mean, I'm a big fan of Mkhitaryan, but people say, oh, you're picking on him. But I'm picking on him because I think he's not doing as well as he can. I know he's a better player.
Yeah, I don't think he's doing as well as he can. He's getting assists, but it's only that it's the stats that people are looking at, and you don't really look at the stats all the time. You're supposed to look at how they actually perform, and he hasn't been performing like to his best ability.
I think most Manchester United fans are very intelligent when they're watching a game, and they don't get deceived by stats and everything like that. But there are some who just don't know what's going on, and they'll look at stats and say, oh, they're having a great season. And I think Mkhitaryan is stat padding this season. You know, his stats are very good, but I don't think his performances, again, I'm not criticising him. He can just do a lot better. What do you think about Herrera and Mata? I was just talking about it there. There is rumours going around that they're both going to leave in the summer. Do you think? I think it's nonsense, but I'm not necessarily right. I wasn't right about a couple of things in the summer. So, what are your thoughts?
I don't want either of them to move. They're a big part of the team. So if either of them move, it'll hurt us the most. Especially Herrera. if he moves, then I don't get why he would move. He's got passion for the club. You can tell he really wants to play for us.
I think Mata and Herrera would be massive losses because they're both professional. They both love the club. The fans love them. They get what Manchester United's all about. I can't see why they would want to go. I really can't. Alex, do you go to games at all?
Not as much anymore, but yeah, I used to. But I'm definitely going to go to some soon.
No, I'm only asking because I don't know whether you saw the fan cams at the weekend with Flex, but he was just saying if you're ever if you're ever down there, he said he'd love to have you on. So there you go, bit of a
I'll definitely try and pop on when I'm down there.
Brilliant. Okay, well thanks for calling, Alex. Good again, and I'll speak to you soon.
Thanks, Mark.
Cheers, pal. Bye. I forget, if you are down the ground, get yourself down and see Flex on the fan cams. They were brilliant at the weekend, and Skype Goldbridge is the global way you can get involved and have your say. But if you're down at the ground, that's the way you can get and have your say straight after the game if you're there. So somebody just said who were the four that you think should be. I think the obvious picks are 4 players of the season so far. We've had 2 of them, Matic and Lukaku. The third one has to be Anthony Martial, of course. I do not underestimate what he's done. It's been absolutely amazing. To do that off the bench is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And the fourth one, to be honest with you, I think, again, a bit of an unsung hero. I think Valencia's been very good. I do. I think he doesn't get the credit, and he's played nearly every game. He's captained the club. He scored that fantastic volley against Everton. He gets forgotten in a way, not in a bad way, because we all know he's very good. But he has been very good this season, Valencia. So I think Valencia's consistency. There are other players. I mean, Ashley Young, but he's not played the whole season. Fellaini, forget out. He's scored a couple of goals and he's done okay, but I don't think he's on the class of the big players. Phil Jones, he's a good shout. De Gea, obviously. Pogba was doing well till he got injured. But no, the 4, I think, the obvious 4 are Martial, Valencia, Matic and Lukaku. I think they've been absolutely fantastic. Yes. Vince Chapman says this show is mega now. Congratulations with all the great work. Thank you. And Gungshi says good calls tonight. Even Xander with his 10-minute long 2-minute call. Yeah, it always goes longer than I want it to with him. We are going to take another call. Don't worry. I just want to make sure that we've covered all of the super chats. Where do I do that? Okay. I forgot. So super chats. We've done Marcus as a silly one. Matthew McFadden said, happy early birthday to Xander from no one at the United Stands. And Shubik says, Zlatan will be back with a bang. I think Zlatan will know he has got to get off the bench and his experience will help us in the Champions League. Thanks for that contribution, Shubik. And Abhinav Shori also said that Lukaku will pull away defenders, so Zlatan will get space and time on the ball, and Zlatan can do a lot when given time. You know what, I've got to say, I do think there are 3 options for Zlatan. I don't think Mourinho is going to put him on the bench, but that's one. I think the second option is he'll play in a front 2 of a 3-5-2, but I don't like that. It's too slow. Lukaku and Zlatan up front is slow, and I think Martial works better. I think we're going to see him in the similar formation to what we've got now, but he'll play as a number 10 where Mkhitaryan is. And the reason I also think that is, 1, he's wearing a 10, 2, he likes to drop deep, and Lukaku likes to play on the last man. 3, Mourinho will want to play him. And 4, Zlatan said about 3 weeks ago, you're going to see something you've never seen before from me. And I think all the signs are there. And I said it a few weeks ago, and quite a few people were surprised. I definitely think it's going to happen. Paul Barlow's made a contribution. Paul, thank you very much. He says, I predict that next season's Player of the Year will be whoever is wearing the number 7 shirt. Well, I'll tell you what, Paul. If nobody's seen the show that I put up earlier, Red Rumours, it went up at 1 o'clock. You need to watch it for the intro music. It's absolutely fantastic work from the Draughty Devil. The studio is amazing. It's one of my favourite studios we have. And the presenter, which is me, is brilliant. But no, I do talk about the Harry Kane rumour and give my spin on that. but more about the Griezmann thing. And I think everything I've said in that video will come to pass. It's a prediction, but I do think it will come to pass. Right, let's take another call. Oh, I was just about to click you and you've hung up. There it is, back now. Hello, Jamie, can you hear me?
Hello, Mark, yeah.
How you doing, pal?
I'm alright, thanks.
Good, good. What was it you wanted to talk about?
I was going to talk about Zlatan again, and the formation we would play if we would actually have him in the team. Because I thought we've not actually played a 5 at the back yet in the Premier League against any side, so I thought maybe we could use him at a 5 in the back formation.
What, use him as a defender?
No. Like in the attack with Lukaku, but like with against Moscow when we played 5 at the back, I thought we were really good against him when we pushed up and defended as well.
Yeah, and let me just think back to that Moscow game, because there's actually a couple of positions Zlatan could play in that, because we played the 5, then we had the 2 midfielders, then we had the man in behind the 2 up front, didn't we? So Zlatan could play behind the 2 up front, which could be Martial and Lukaku, or he could play as one of the front 2. Yeah,
I wouldn't mind it, but I wouldn't know where Martial and Rashford would actually come in. Like for last minute subs, maybe but they won't really be starting as much if we did that formation with Zlatan in, I think.
Yeah, I mean, this is a bit something that's sort of in the back of my head. I think Martial is so close to starting games now, and he should be starting games because he's been fantastic. But if Zlatan comes in, what does that do for Martial? And does that push him back down the pecking order again, which would be ridiculous? But Mourinho loves Zlatan, and I just think that we need to sort of start accepting that as exciting as we've been, and as quick as we've been, and as great as it's been to watch, we all need to sort of get our heads around how Zlatan will come in, because I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm convinced that Zlatan will be starting games more than he's not starting games when he's fit.
Yeah, I'm not sure though, because even though he did play every game last season, I think he has to accept that a lot of the players that are playing in the first team now are playing exceptionally well, like Martial, Rashford and Lukaku, and he's going to have to accept not playing every game, and I guess he will have to play quite a lot of games, which will actually help if he came on in like the last 20 minutes. If Lukaku was really tired, give him a rest. I mean, that'll probably be good.
Yeah. And who's been your player of the year so far?
Oh, I think De Gea, in my opinion. If we didn't have De Gea in the team, honestly, I reckon a lot of goals we would have conceded. Yeah.
Second one for De Gea tonight, and I'm glad to hear it, because I think he has been very good, and he's a player I thought was going to go in the summer, and it just, you put some. We've just got such a strong spine, a really strong spine. Are you confident going into October? Chelsea, Spurs, Liverpool to play. City have got an easy month.
Definitely, if Martial keeps his and Lukaku and Rashford keep the game up, then I reckon we'll do well with the goal side. But I'm not sure about the defence at the moment with the left back spot. I mean, a lot of the good teams that we're coming against now have really quick wingers, and I'm kind of annoyed that we don't have a good left back yet. So I'm hoping we can sort out the left back side soon.
Yeah. Well, it's going to have to be this summer, isn't it? But thanks for calling, Jamie. Where are you calling from?
Manchester.
Manchester. Do you get down the games much?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you are, don't forget to drop down and see Flex. Get yourself on a fan cam. But thanks for calling.
Sure. Thank you.
Cheers, pal. Okay, I'm just going to whack Daryl, not literally, because he has been trying to get on for a while. Daryl, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Mark. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm not too bad. Before you ask about play of the season, I'm saying Lukaku, because I feel he's a very good player for United. He's one of our main strikers. And obviously, 11 goals in 10 games, it's an unbelievable record from him. For someone who's only joined United in, the start of October, he's did exceptionally well. That's my first point. So yeah.
And what else are you going to talk about?
Zlatan being back is very good. I know a lot of people won't agree because obviously he is quite slow on the ball sometimes. But overall, he scored the most amount. He was Man United's top goal scorer last season.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if we play a 4-4-2 formation for our next few games, playing Zlatan and Lukaku, we've got a very good combination of attackers on the pitch.
Yeah, well, 28 goals, you can't sniff at it. It's I'm excited about Zlatan coming back. I'm just worried about how Mourinho's going to use him, and I don't want to see any favouritism. I think he can't play every minute of every game.
Yeah, well, he didn't get to play all of the games for Everton, and of course he can't expect to play all the games for United as well. And a lot of people obviously have said that either Zlatan or Lukaku will work fine. I think it would be better if there was only one striker playing, and of course resting the other two, like Rashford and Zlatan, just resting those two, maybe having one on the bench, one on the pitch, it'll work. The 4-2-3-1 formation, which has been working quite a lot for United. And of course it keeps on working. So I think if he changes to a 4-4-2, he'll confuse all the other teams, because a lot of the other teams will be expecting him to play the same formation as usual. So to be honest, play Lukaku and you get goals, and sometimes Zlatan even scores. Obviously Martial can score a few. Overall, we've just got a very good team playing in midfield and attacking wise.
No, you're right. Sometimes Zlatan does score goals, and that's what we want. And he hates Pep Guardiola, which is good.
Well, it is good actually, because he's obviously playing for the other Manchester team. And like I was just about to say earlier as well, I watched your other stream about it's either going to be Man United or Man City winning the league, which I totally agree, because obviously they're the two best teams in the Premier League at the minute, and obviously United 19 goals from 7-8 games this season. It's good. 21 actually we've scored. We've conceded 2, which is a good record, and obviously De Gea knows what he's doing. He's stopping everyone else from scoring, and of course we keep winning 4-0 and 4-0 and all these over four goals scored and stuff. And the 4-0 against Everton, 4-0 against Crystal Palace and Swansea and West Ham, it shows a very good sign for the rest of the season. And now, of course, Lukaku's injured, which isn't really good when we're playing against Liverpool next. But obviously that's after the international break.
Yeah.
So I think if Belgium decide to keep him out of the squad and let him rest for a few matches, and then get him back in training before the Liverpool game, because he's probably one of the most important players that we need for Liverpool game. Obviously, I'm not dissing all the other players. The other players are good, but if we don't have Lukaku, we don't stand much chance of winning, because obviously he's non-stop scoring for United. And I mean, bringing Zlatan in as well. If we play Zlatan, then we've got 2-3 goals against him. But overall, we're doing well, and I think we could actually beat Liverpool with Lukaku.
Yeah, I think we are as well. Thanks for calling, Daryl. Real patience got you on in the end, and please do call again.
Yeah, not a problem. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, pal. Thank you. I'll tell you what, we've had some cracking callers tonight. We really have. Shubik says, Mourinho recently said that he is waiting for Zlatan to recover so that he can rest Lukaku. I think Zlatan will not be starting as a number 10 after all. Interesting, Shubik, and thank you for the contribution. And right, okay. Right, yeah. We've had some fantastic calls tonight, and Make sure you do drop a like on the video for everybody who's called in tonight, because I've lost count. We've had some really good calls there. I'll always listen to it back on my way to work as sort of like a podcasting in my ear, or at work, to kill an hour. But yeah, it's been really good, and you're part of it. And that's the whole point. So drop a like and back everybody up. I was laughing at Daryl's call. Somebody just said it's not professional. I wasn't laughing because it was a bad call. It was just something he particularly said that I'm immature, and it just made me start laughing. And it was, I did lose my composure, but I wasn't laughing at the call. It was a very good call. Thanks for the call earlier, Mark, says Bobby. Cheers, everybody. Yeah, like and make sure you support everybody, which I know you will, because that's what this show's always been about. It is the Skype show. It is unscripted. It is for you to come on and say what you want to do, and you've all done it tonight fantastically well. Oh, that's what Daryl said as well. Lukaku's not injured. He's not injured. He just didn't train with Belgium today because of the knock he had on training on Friday with United when he still played on the Saturday. So it's just precautionary. Fellaini didn't train either. They've not picked up new injuries. They've got the same thing they had before the Palace game, and they still played. So there's nothing to worry about. Zach MU says drop a like for the callers. Yeah, definitely do. And remember, the link in the video description is for the OneFootball app. You can get all your latest United news on there. Just follow United. They've got stats on there. It's really good. It's on Android. It's on Apple. It's free to download. And yeah, really good app. So download it. Link in the video description. It's free. It's really good if you're out and about and you want your latest United news. It's really good. Okay, we'll call it a day there. Really enjoyed that. I love the Skype show. It will be back, the Skype show. I'm trying to think when it will be. Thursday, isn't it? Thursday. So we've got Rodney on tomorrow. Got a really good show lined up on Wednesday. I do like the international break. I don't like it, but I do like it because it allows me, over the months when we're busy with the transfer window in the summer, you can't do those sort of shows. And then when the games are on, you can't do them. So a couple of spare nights are really good because I bank shows that I want to discuss that we can do in the international break. So Wednesday's a real cracker, and I'll give you a little bit of a hint of what it is. It's going to be United transfer window against United youth policy, and there's lots of different strands to it. There's like a delve into the future, delve into the past, what we've done so far, what others have done. It's going to be really, really interesting. Done quite a lot of research on it, and it's a big question. It's a small question. United, do you go for transfers or do you go for youth? But it's a question United have clearly been working on for a number of years, recent years, and it's one that fans, I want your input on. So I'm really looking forward to doing that on Wednesday. If you love United, you're interested in transfers, you're interested in youth, you're interested in the future, then you need to be involved in that debate. And I will be running it as a debate with live comments and potentially a few calls as well. So thanks everyone for watching. I think I am doing my FIFA 18 career on That's Football tonight. It will go live at about 8:30. So you just need to get on That's Football and subscribe, and it will happen. And Orison's made a contribution. He says, Mark, do you think Mourinho can make it past the third year with us? The magic third year. He's in year 2. I think he will definitely do 3 years. He will be here next year. Whether he'll go beyond that is the tipping point, isn't it? I think he will. So that's football tonight, 10:30. It will go live off my PS4 for episode 4 of my Everton career mode, if you like that. And back tomorrow night at 8 o'clock with Rodney talking United and everything with you lot. Remember, if you're new, subscribe, bottom right hand corner, and click that bell. And for everyone who's hanging around, if you didn't see Red Rumours that went up at 1 o'clock today, and you're sad that it's the end of this show, you've got another 10 minutes at least of United Stand content that you've not watched today. The intro is the dogs, it's lit. The studio is the dogs, and it's lit, and the content is good. There's about 4 or 5 different sort of things that you're probably not aware of or you've not discussed. So I don't know whether it's showing up on your recommended videos, but it's called Griezmann and Kane to United in 2018, but it also talks about a few other things like loans and stuff like that. Update on Pereira. So it's really good, but it's worth watching and liking just for the video. So just for the set and the music. So give us your thoughts on it. Anyway, I forgot to say that in the video. Give us your thoughts on Red Rumours. You can leave it on this one or go and watch Red Rumours and give us your thoughts on it. It's our video from this afternoon. So thanks everyone for watching. I'll speak to you all very soon. And yeah, really enjoyed it. Like the video for everyone who's been on. Make sure you go and watch that Red Rumours video. It's my favourite. It's my favourite show. We used to do it like a year ago, and I'm glad it's back on a Monday now. I want to keep it going, so support it. See you soon. Thanks for watching.